And I'm going to do an audible real quick instead of talking about Joe Biden and his failures. And Joe Biden is a failure. Don't get me wrong. And he's kind of going into this, but I want to talk about something Bill Barr says. So here's an article from Breitbart about China is pretty much, we've lost pretty much. China's dominating the world, and we've got to pull our heads out of our asses. So let's check out this article real quick. Breitbart News. Bill Barr, while China's dominating the world, America's having a never-ending woke competition, and we truly, truly are. I don't understand. I hate all these little ad things. But HBO's real-time host Bill Maher warned of the rising influence of China globally in the United States, a concern routinely ignored by Democrats in his own party. China-America cautioned is growing in dominance as America continues to allow cultural issues such as the political correctness of iconic children's book to distract them from pressing issues. I don't give a about Dr. Seuss. I give a fuck about China harvesting human organs in concentration camps. You're not going to win the battle for the 21st century if you are silly people, and Americans are silly people, Bill Maher said during his monologue Friday night. Do you know who doesn't care that there's a stereotype of a Chinese man in a Dr. Seuss book? China. All 1.4 billion of them couldn't give a crouching tiger flying I love it because they're not silly people. If anything, they are serious as a prison fight. I crouching tiger flying. Oh, that's awesome. Mayer used the bulk of the monologue to highlight the advancement China has made through, he acknowledged, in the authoritarian nature of the regime. There's got to be something between an authoritarian government that tells everyone what to do and representative government that can't do anything at all, he said, detailing that China has built 500 entire cities from scratch, moved the majority of the huge population from poverty to middle class, and mostly cornered the market in 5G and pharmaceuticals in 2 generations. That's ridiculous. That is fucking yeah. We are fucking lacking in our pimping. In China alone, they have 400,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. America has none. We've been having infrastructure week. We've been having infrastructure week every week since 2009, but we never do anything. Half the country is having a never-ending woke competition deciding whether Mr. Potato Head has a D, and the other half believes we have to stop the lizard people because they're eating babies. We are silly people. He concerned referring to America as an impacted colon of a country in terms of moving legislation and getting things accomplished. Oh my God, it's so fucking true. We see a problem and we ignore it, lie about it, fight about it, endlessly litigate it, sunset clause it, kick it down the road, and then write a bill where a half-assed solution doesn't kick in for 10 years. Bill Maher says China sees a problem and they fix it. They build a dam, we debate what to rename it. We binge watch, they binge build. He continued, touting that the communist nation did when the coronavirus struck Wuhan, the place of origin, than novel coronavirus. I mean, when you're like slaves, though, it's kind of hard to compare us to that. I don't think we'll ever reach that level of production, even if we weren't a silly people. When COVID hit Wuhan, the city built a quarantine center with 4,000 rooms in 10 days, and they barely had to use it because they quickly arrested the rest of the disease. Mira said they were back. Yeah, it's because they fucking welded people into their homes. They were back to throwing raves in swimming pools while we were stuck at home surfing the dark web for black market charming. We're not losing to China. We've lost. Their returns just haven't all come in yet. They've made robots that check a kid's temperature and got their asses back in school. Most of our kids are still pretending to take Zoom classes while they watch TikTok and their brain cells fully commit ritual suicide. Meanwhile, China has said does not get sidetracked by cultural issues that often dominate the establishment media and the political left. That's because they're doing it on purpose. It's China's paying for it. Do you think China's doing that, letting political correctness get in the way of nurturing the best and the brightest? Bill Maher asked. Do you think Chinese colleges are offering courses in philosophy of Star Trek, the Scientology of Seinfeld, and surviving the coming zombie apocalypse? Those are real, and so is China. And they are eating their lunch. And believe me, in an hour they'll be hungry again. President Biden, who was not wholly addressing lingering concerns over his son's business dealings, which had famously dismissed the country's threats during the Democratic primary race, declaring that it was not competition for the United States. Yeah, it's because they already won. China is going to eat a lunch. Come on, man, Biden said, adding, I mean, you know, they're not bad folks, but guess what? They're not competition for us. However, he changed his tone last month, declaring China will eat our lunch if the U.S. does not specifically tackle infrastructure. They're going going to. It's now you're trying to unfuck it, but it's too late. You fucked it too much. If we don't get moving, they're going to eat our lunch, the president told senators. We just have to step up, and what I like to talk to these folks about, since they are the key committee, is how we begin this. I've laid out what I should be doing by whatever. That was fucking garbage. I'm not listening to you, because you've already fucked us in the ass. Biden, you are a fucking travesty. We should have been dealing with this for a while now, and it's going to bite us in the ass. Can we still win? Yeah. Germany was the dominant superpower in World War II, and when we began that war, and we unfucked that real quick by coming together as a country, but I'm not sure we can do that again. So while it's possible that we could come together and lead the world against China if when it hits the fan, I highly doubt it. We're probably going to need help this time, and I don't see people coming to help us. Not after our woke Olympics is killing everything. I mean, it is what it is. I don't see us falling for this. Beijing Biden is basically their puppet, even though now he's starting to talk against them. So I don't know. Maybe the establishment's trying to get us to worry about China now that they've secured their position of power. But I don't think they understand the damage they've done by securing their position of power the way they secured their position of power, because I don't think that the dominoes have been pushed over. I don't think there's no stopping. I think we're going to end up in civil war. Asian hate crimes, we were talking about that. They're on the rise. Hate crimes in general against black, white, yellow, polka dotted, they're all on the rise because of this intersectional bullshit dividing people. This leftist, authoritarian, Marxist cult. We need to start treating them like the enemies. We need to stop doing this fifth generational warfare with our own people. And I hate to say this, but if you're not willing to start punching these people in the throats, they're going to continue to win. And you have to be we have to get to the point where we understand history shows that you have to shoot your way out of this. And if you don't want to shoot your way out of this after it gets worse and you want to end it now, you have to be willing to put your foot down. You have to be willing to punch these Marxists in the throat. And when you see people punching Marxists in the throat, you have to fight the fifth generational urge to be like, those people, and we have to unfuck it. We got to we have to do it. Well, we're gonna get fucked. I'm just saying. But anyway, this is the end. This is all we have for you today. As always, this has been my thought of the day. I'm Dr. Mo, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.